quick follow-up on the economy and job cuts. Amazon announced 18,000 job cuts today. Microsoft announced 10,000 job cuts today. All these thousands of job cuts are coming on top of tens of thousands of jobs being cut across the tech sector and across sectors in corporate America. Obviously, the White House and the administration, like you just pointed out a couple of minutes ago, still believes the economy is resilient, does not expect it to slip into a recession. But as we talk about mass layoffs and as the White House continues to point a strong economy and overall recovery in the labor market, how do you expect some of these numbers and some of these statistics to impact that recovery in the coming months?
Let me just be clear. When you talk about recession and you talk about what we're seeing currently with the economy, these are the data points, right? The data points are showing that this is not what we see, what the economy is currently, to pre-recession or recession. I mean, that is what the experts are saying as well, and that's what the data points are proving. With CPI today, the consumer, not CPI, the PPI today, we're seeing that inflation is actually indeed moderating. And a lot of that is connected to the president's economic policies. And so that is something that we're going to continue to highlight. We're going to continue to point to the data, not just our words, but that's what the data is showing. Look, again, as I mentioned to your colleague, I'm not going to comment specifically on what's currently happening with particular companies, with private companies. Clearly, we're closely monitoring. But like I said, the layoffs remain near record lows according to the job openings data. Again, looking at the data, looking at the numbers. We found out, again, I talked about the small businesses, 10 million new small businesses have been created since the president took office. That matters. Those data points also matter. The third quarter GDP revision shows that the U.S. economy continues to grow and add jobs. So that's what I will point you to in answering your question as I just laid out. But again, we are seeing we're seeing the president's economic policy actually working, and I think that's important as well. Is there more work to do? Always more work to do, and you hear that from us as well.
So no immediate concern from these tens of thousands of
What I'm saying is we're going to
corporate-
closely monitor this. We are always keeping an eye on these things, but these are private companies that are making decisions, and we're just not going to comment.
And a quick one on China, if I may. You were talking about Secretary Yellen. Treasury announced today that she's planning to go to China. Secretary of State is planning to go to China. The president met with Xi in Bali in November. Clearly, there is sort of momentum in some sort of rebuilding of ties between the two nations. Going forward this year, should we expect the administration and the White House to perhaps tone down its rhetoric against China and really focus on rebuilding the relationship between the two
I think
economies?
we've been very clear on our approach with China. That hasn't changed. We're looking for a competition, right? That's how we see our relationship with China, and that hasn't changed. It's not going to change when the president walked into the administration in 2021, and certainly not going to change in 2023.